Hi there. Hey there. Ho there. We're as happy as can be. Another day, another week, another three ball walk session. Today with a live studio audience.
Yay for the audience.
All right. So here we are, All-Star Week. Baseball got back into action last night with the Cubs and Cardinals.
Yep.
What would usually be a big rivalry game, usually with the team that's in it and the team that's not, and it's usually the Cardinals that are in it and the Cubs that aren't. But things have changed a little bit, and we'll start off with a trivia question for you guys. Mike Matheny.
Yep.
Gone.
Yep.
Okay.
Last week.
On a team of stability and defense and doing baseball the right way, and the biggest thing was they were kind of losing control and not doing it the Cardinal way.
Yep.
You know, and it had been a few years for the playoffs and everything. And the stability, there's only, since 1995, okay, actually 1993, I guess it is now, in the last 25 years, there have only been 3 teams with less managers than the St. Louis Cardinals.
Wow.
Okay? What are those 3 teams? More stability at the managerial position.
The Dodgers.
Negative.
Really? All those years with Lasorda?
Lasorda's been gone for...
Long time. Since 95, you said.
I mean, in 99, when I was there, it was Davey Johnson.
Oh, that's true.
And he had followed Trevor Hoffman's brother. Hoff had been the manager before that.
The Twins.
The Twins!
Bob Smith.
Look at Bob
Wow.
Smith.
Twins.
The Twins.
The Twinkies with my doppelganger, Gardner.
Baltimore.
Baltimore's they've had a lot of
A lot of managers
managers.
as well. This just killed my streak.
Maybe not a lot, but
streak
more
is-
than
Yankees.
the Yankees.
Yankees, yeah. Because
Wait, is that hilarious? The Yankees, who
Yeah.
were the manager a
revolving
year,
door.
and the Yankees have only had 3 managers in that period of time.
And the Braves.
And
the Braves.
Atlanta
That was my
Braves.
next
Good
pick, was the
call.
Braves.
The Twins, the Braves, and the Yankees.
I got 2 of them. I wouldn't have got the Twins.
And the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are making changes. Do they have a chance to get back in it?
No.
Not the way they're playing right now. I think they I don't know how many errors they had last night, but they've got to tighten their defense up if they're going to have
Which
a chance.
is so un-Cardinal.
Completely.
They got 2. They got to jump 2 teams. At least they might make it into the wild card.
You
But I
know?
don't think they win the division.
No, I don't think they win the division. It's going to be
And
hard to catch Milwaukee. and
you like the
Chicago.
Brewers or the Cubs?
I said the Cubs. I'm sticking with them. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
They're starting to come around. They've got a lead now of about I forget what their lead is in the Central right now.
3.
Three games in the Central. I think the Cubs are going to be a team to beat in the Central. Milwaukee, I think if they got Machado, it would have been a very interesting thing to see what happens. They were in it, but they didn't get it.
They weren't able to.
They couldn't
finalize
close the deal.
They
And
couldn't
Milwaukee's
close
one of
the
those teams that does that kind of deal. That's why
Before we get to the West
Okay.
and the Machado and the
Okay.
Dodgers and everything, let's go to the other division in the National League. For the first time, and I don't know how long,
I'm okay with it.
I am too.
you guys
I'm
aren't in
fine.
first place.
It's okay.
I never expected to be in
I
first
didn't
place
either.
at any point during this season.
Do you
so-
think the Philly
No.
fans expect to be in first
Yes,
place?
I
Yes.
think they did. And
You
that's-
think so?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they thought they were going to be the front runner.
Are you serious?
I think
serious.
Washington didn't see themselves being third at this time right now.
No.
See,
Didn't
I,
either.
I thought it was
No
a
way.
Washington runaway.
Yep. And they just haven't. And
Philly
they're-
fans always think they're going to win, no matter what. They
Right.
can be playing twiddle sticks outside their local cheesesteak shop, and they think they're going to win. So, yeah.
Well, they're Washington. You know, they were talking during the All-Star game about Bryce Harper. You know, that he's not going to be back in Washington. They're saying now that he's going to go someplace else, but he's only hitting 214 this year. I mean, it's going to get hard for him to get that max deal that he's
No,
going
it
to
won't.
get. You don't think so?
No.
I totally.
I
No.
don't know.
One
And
year,
then-
one year,
I'll-
one year's an anomaly. Now,
And then the other part, which
4 or 5 years in a row, yeah, but
Yeah.
1 year he's still hitting dingers, isn't he?
he's hitting dingers.
Yeah, he's got about 21 or
I
22.
think last I saw, he hit a lot of dingers on Monday night, which is
Oh,
all
yeah.
the national
Yeah,
media.
cheater.
How much does that? How much does that? How much does that affect?
Has dad throwing to him. Come on.
How much does that affect his free agency and his money?
What? The home
Winning-
run derby?
winning the home run derby.
No,
I don't think it.
at all.
I don't. I well.
See, I disagree.
I don't think it. I don't think it hurts him, but I don't know that it helps him. I mean, if you can't
I
hit him
mean,
during the regular season, you wouldn't have been in there.
Right, but I really think winning the home run derby adds to your marketability. It adds to the name. It adds to the,
Well,
and that's what you're paying for.
I had someone ask me. I was having supper with somebody last night, and someone asked me this. They go, "Can you name 5 stars of Major League Baseball?" And I go, "Yeah." And I rattled them off, and he couldn't name one. And I go, "How can I?" You're a baseball fan, but his argument was that baseball doesn't market itself.
we agree with that.
Yeah,
I think we've always agreed with that.
I've sat there and
Yeah.
said that from day one.
And he could. I said, "Come on, Mike Trout." I said, "Manny Machado. He just got traded."
Well, did you see the commissioner's report on Wednesday? The State of the Union address.
No, I didn't.
He threw Mike Trout under the bus.
What? I didn't
Doesn't
see it.
do a good enough job of promoting himself, and we need to teach these players. And he named one, a player like Mike Trout, one of the best players in our game. Players like that need to do a better job of marketing themselves and getting their names out there.
Well, if you
like
market-
the other sports,
If you
do.
market yourself, doesn't that take away from the game and add to Mike Trout's?
yeah, but being able to, and maybe not marketing yourself, but
Isn't that the
getting
job?
promotions and getting.
Isn't that the job of Major League Baseball, though?
I'm with you. I'm with you. They do a terrible job.
Terrible job. I was-
Right now, what have they promoted the most I've seen as far as ESPN ads for games and everything?
Right.
I saw more home run derby ads
Yeah.
than I probably did
Well, you know why?
game
Because
ads.
they-
Because more
host
people
it.
will watch the Home Run Derby than probably watch the All-Star game.
I was talking to a 13-year-old kid a few weeks ago here in Gainesville, and I said, "Who's your favorite player?" Had his baseball hat on. You know, I said, "Who's your favorite baseball player?" You'll never believe what he said. Roger Maris.
Roger.
I like Roger Maris. And now look, Roger Maris was a great player. I think he's been in the Hall
He's
of
not-
Fame. He's been dead since 1985. This kid wasn't even born then. I said, "Why is Roger Maris your favorite player?" And he's seen video of him on YouTube, and he's read a biography about him, and he's his favorite player. I said, "There's Mike Trout, Bryce Harper." I said,
And he's wearing a baseball cap.
and
What
where
kind of
baseball
cap was he wearing?
It was like probably a travel ball cap or something. But my point is, he plays baseball, and Roger Maris was. What does that say about
Roger Maris's son coached here and
coached here? But he-
travel ball
And he
guy
might.
around
I
here.
didn't ask him if he played travel for Roger Maris. For I think Kevin Maris.
Kevin Maris's,
Who does it? I didn't ask if he played for Kevin, but Roger Maris is his favorite player.
Yeah, no.
But there is a marketing problem, and the 4-letter network, and I told Eddie this and you this. If the 4-letter network marketed MLB like they do NFL, Major League Baseball would be the sport of America, but they don't. And they could, but if ESPN would do cricket the way they did football, cricket would be the number
we
one.
get on this every day.
Yeah, we get in this every week, but
I
I
believe
don't.
that.
I don't think that's true. Here's why I don't think that's true. I think that ESPN and the other networks market what people want.
Okay.
So MLB
Last night,
baseball doesn't drive ratings, and if it doesn't drive ratings, it doesn't drive advertisers to pay for their ads to go on those slots. So
last
it
night
goes
you
back
had
to
the
more people
Cubs
need to
and the
watch it.
Cardinals. Okay.
I didn't watch it. I watched part, but I didn't watch
You
it
had
all.
the Cubs and Cardinals, and for an hour and a half, it was a special long edition. During on ESPN2, you had NFL Live. Okay, because they're talking about which I think, and I told you, and I haven't passed this on. I have a great marketing idea. I think will drive tons of ratings. I think we should have a weekly show for the next 30 weeks, for the next year. Okay, all of what team is Le'Veon Bell going to? Because he didn't. I mean, it was all
decide,
news.
yeah.
It was all news, and it was the headline of the day. The All-Star game's going on, but the headline that day was Le'Veon didn't reach terms. And now, last night's NFL Live, and I didn't watch it, but I'm sure what they were talking about is what team's Le'Veon going to since he didn't renew his contract.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, again,
It's ridiculous.
baseball has not done a good job of capturing a younger market.
Nope.
And we can talk about it if you want to. What John Smoltz said about travel baseball and the damage
guys-
that it's done to
The
people
guys
as
on
young.
radio, the national radio, was it Monday morning? They had who, and now I forget who it was. Reese Hoskins on to talk about the home run derby and the season and whatever. And during the call, they received about a dozen. Why is this guy on? You know, We don't want to hear them. You're killing time and everything like that. And they were sitting there. They actually commented on the fact that, and I want to say it was Levitard's show. They commented on the fact that people were sitting there just didn't even want to have their radio time. They go out and get a Major League Baseball player who's going to be in the home run derby that night, and fan outcry is they don't want to hear it.
What do they want to hear? Football?
Yes.
They'd rather just hear them talk about who
stupid
LeBron
stuff.
is gonna.
Oh, the
Try to
Levitard show is off. That's a whole other issue. That's not even really a sports show for me.
No.
It's more of an entertainment show. Which,
Well, they all are.
yeah, which some of them could say that's about us as well, although we're not
Well,
very entertaining. So,
Speak for yourself.
well, obviously our ratings
Look,
don't
this
show
is-
it. Our ratings do not reflect.
Do we need
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
more football?
We need to talk more football
No,
because
I can't talk
baseball,
about-
not enough
I gotta
people
go.
watch it. So there you go.
Talk about football.
3 ball down becomes
Three ball
Three-
down.
three ball
third-
down.
Yeah, third down and long.
Third down long. Yeah.
Third down and
Football
long.
show,
But
third
I
down
think
long.
the problem again is comes back to baseball is a social game. It always has been. It's been a game where
family.
you go and you sit down and you talk in between innings, you talk in between pitches. You know the people who sit around you. It becomes a place where the community gathered back in the day. I know. Like for my grandfather, that was where they all gathered on a Sunday afternoon was the baseball field when they had all been
Barbershops.
working in the fields all week long. And then on Sunday they'd go to church, they'd go eat lunch, and then afterwards they'd all gather for a community baseball game. And everybody would walk there and they would sit there and until dark and they would eat and then they would go home. You know, it was the gathering place for the community for a long time. And we've lost that out of this desire to make baseball this high-tech, energy-driven, sound bombarding environment when you go to a game.
Interesting.
And so you can't talk and you don't do that. Plus, we as a society have gotten less community oriented and more personally screen driven. All of us, not just millennials, but everybody is screen driven.
Good point, yeah.
So
Well-
you want to watch. If you want to watch it, you can wait and then see all the highlights on ESPN. You don't have to watch the 25 strikeouts like in the All-Star game, which we'll talk about in the second half. You don't have to watch all the strikeouts. You just wait for the home runs and you see all the highlights. In 30 seconds, you've seen what took 4 hours to show you.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I go ahead.
No.
No, I'm saying as though there. Do you think also it has to do with people's attention spans today? Football is like here's the next play, here's the next play. Baseball, it's what you said. It's more of an easy ride.
It's a thinker's game, and we go back to what we talked about last week. And I don't want to go back to the chicks dig the long ball and the cause of it all, but I think baseball and what we were trying to say that time, baseball attempted to market to the non-baseball fan,
Right.
They try to be something they weren't.
Right.
And while they were, they destroyed the foundation of what they had.
And, well, I think part of the foundation crumbled underneath them too. I don't know that they destroyed the foundation as much as they didn't build a new generation. And with anything, any sport is one generation away from being gone. If you think about it, basketball, one
Yep.
generation
Just-
doesn't grow up watching Jordan. They don't grow up watching LeBron.
Yep.
They don't. Who's the next LeBron that's going to come after them? If there's not a next LeBron that comes after them that can carry the game and can be that kind of stellar power and get kids to play it, then they'll lose it. And that's what happened with baseball. We had a generation. Our generation, we went out and played. Like John Smoltz said, I'm sorry, it was a great statement. When he grew up, every afternoon during the summer, kids weren't traveling all over the country to play a game that was organized by adults. They were gathering in their neighborhood in
Yep.
somebody's backyard with a wiffle ball and a wiffle bat playing ball because it was fun and because everybody could play and you didn't have to be the best. You could be horrible and they still picked you on the team. They picked you last and you played right field, but you were still out there playing. Now, guys that are horrible don't play the game.
Nope.
And if you don't play the game, guess what? You don't learn to appreciate the game. You don't learn to want to watch the game. And so over time, they
a
have
good point.
built a
That's a good call.
situation where nobody wants to watch the game because we've made it an all-star only team. That's what travel teams are.
Yeah.
They're an all-star only team. And the kids who grew up playing, who weren't that good, but played with all the guys who were, could say, I played with so-and-so. Like I can tell you major leaguers that I played with in Little League.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And these days, you
Look
can't
at the
do
Jet.
that.
The Jet, when he made it to the Dodgers, and all his Sandlot friends and everything were all excited because he was the star on that Sandlot team.
We went back to a movie quote. Threw me off for a moment. Hey, we're out of time. We'll come back in the second half and talk about the All-Star game a little more in detail. We'll be right back.